Hello viewers, this is Top TV, Top Radio. My name is Doris. I invite you to this program today. The program is on parenting. In our last sessions, we have been talking about parents being available in the lives of their children, and we have discussed quite a number of things. And we realize that parenting is such an important factor in the life of our children. As we bring up our children, one of the things I tried to discuss in our last session is about spiritual development of our children. And I mentioned that it is important as parents, we look at the spiritual aspect of our children, because it is the spiritual aspect is very important in helping our children cope with the challenges of life. Like I was able to discuss the fact that today in our country there are so many challenges. You know, we had Corona the other day. We have unemployment issues. We have issues of governance, and our children don't seem to know exactly where they belong. They do not understand even where to go, and therefore, as parents, I wish that we take this spiritual issue of our children very seriously, because when we know this and when we help them in that area, then we expect that our children are going to grow up knowing that there is God who is able to meet their needs. And in the church, I was able to point out that the church will play its role. Teach children values, teach them the Word of God, guide them using the Word of God, but also as they come home or on our part as parents, as the church is helping us, we are also helping our children in some way. So we sort of share roles between the church and ourselves, so that we make this child to develop in a manner that is going to be, you know, that is going to make this child very productive in society. When we put our roles together, then we are not going to produce criminals. I'm sorry that we have parents, because of the, you know, the way the children have been brought up, maybe those children were neglected, or, you know, there were certain gaps in the upbringing of their children. The children ended up maybe in drugs. They ended up, you know, doing criminal activities, you know, maybe, you know, getting into rape, into theft, robbery, and murder. We have heard of murder cases. In fact, very, very on the rise today. So why? This is just about our children who are doing all that. Haven't we seen the college students murdering one another? Why? Why has this, you know, risen to this level? It's just about where these children are coming from. And maybe they are projecting certain things. There's some bitterness these children have about life, that, you know, they do not see the value of, you know, living. So if they kill someone, they know that they will end up in prison, and just give up their life like that. And perhaps one of the things that they could have missed out is the spiritual aspect. The spiritual aspect. Although we have had again cases, people in the church and also, you know, committing crime, but that's not on a very high level. we know that is also possible, but the church will save a very high percentage of people from getting into crime. I believe that if we look around, maybe our neighborhood and so on, we are able to see that the families that have committed their lives to a church somewhere, and they are very serious about it, you will find that if those parents are going together with their children and they are working as a team towards spiritual development of the whole family, then you find that it works very well. It works very well. You will hardly find maybe criminals in that kind of family. So the spiritual aspect is very, very critical, very important in our lives as parents. And I want to urge every parent, wherever you are, as you listen to this program, please look around and see, look at yourself. Are you doing something to help the spiritual development of your child? Look at it. If you are a father or you are a mother, we know that there are fathers who say, who tell the wife, you go to church. The fathers, they tell the wives to go to church with their children, but them they sit at home. They take a seat and sit out there, or they go chat with friends. I want to encourage you, Father, today, that as you listen to this program, I encourage you to find a place you can go and worship. You can go and invite God to help you as you walk with your children throughout life. Because when we miss out on certain things, certain important things, when we are raising up children, it is very difficult to help these children in future. If at all they have, they have gone into a wrong direction, they have, swayed off from the right path, it will be very difficult to bring these children back on the right track. It will be very difficult. So, as parents, let us know that if we don't do it right, it will be very, very difficult. Why I find this program very important is because some of us made some mistakes here and there. We now have big children, but I know we made a number of mistakes. And some of the things I'm saying here, some of them we may have missed out, but some of them we have seen them work. And that is why it is good that we share some of these things out. I know there are parents out there who are agreeing with this, with the fact that you cannot leave God outside your family and you succeed just like that. It may not be very easy. And I want to appreciate, even this time as I talk, I want to appreciate my parents because some of the things I'm talking here, it is because of what I saw my parents do to us, and that is why we were able to grow up, quite well. One of the things I want to point out, especially with my father, and who is still alive today, and I say thank you, Dad, for what you did for us. My dad was very, very at the center of our growth. He ensured that he went to church every Sunday. I can remember that every Sunday you see him carrying the Bible, and he would gather us together, and he taught us the Word of God. He encouraged us to have faith, and he had a large family, but the family was very stable. We, the children, were well founded in terms of morals, and I want to thank God that they really sacrificed their lives for us, and that is why I'm here encouraging someone else. I know we have upcoming parents, we have young parents who need this information. The society today has opened up so many things, and the young parents may think that life is just about maybe, you know, doing everything that is placed before us, and then you forget that you have children to take care of. Maybe you think, okay, I have my house help, I have my domestic worker, will be able to do ABCD. I want to point out to our young parents that if tomorrow you want to be at peace with your children, then it is about foundation. What are you doing about these children when they are young? Because that is how you are going to close the gaps that the enemy may use to you know, to destroy your children. On that note, I just want to encourage us that we put in our mind or consider the spiritual aspect of our children, and let's invite God to help us in bringing up our children, and we shall be blessed, and the children shall be a blessing to the whole society. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you, and let's meet again in our next program.